Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ticket to Life. If this is your first time joining me, this is Henrie, and I am going to tell you one of the most important things I like to get out and try to get out every week, and that is to tell you thank you so much for listening and for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to Ticket to Life. And hopefully, if this is your first time, you will enjoy this episode and we'll come back and listen next week. I have been podcasting I'm going on year 3 and have 100 and some odd podcast about anything and everything about life. You name it, I'm pretty sure I've covered it. And if not, and you would like for me to cover something or share something about your life, I always change the names. I would not say, oh yeah, Cindy from Cincinnati, she says that her husband, Bill. No, I would never do something like that. So I always make sure I change names, locations, genders, because I would not want anyone to get upset if I am sharing someone's story. Although a lot of these stories sound alike because of the fact, or familiar, not alike. They sound familiar due to the fact that someone somewhere is going through the same identical thing you could possibly have going through, and you don't think that's possible, but it is. And it's crazy because that is just life. And I do talk about anything and everything. So again, thank you for listening, and thank you for taking time out again of your busy schedule to listen to Ticket to Life. So how are you doing since last time we met? For those regular listeners, I can't tell you how busy I have been. So if I am busy, I know that you are busy. Life is just busy. I need to go back and listen to one of my podcasts regarding slow down, don't hurry, because sometimes we just get where we don't realize we're just going. And then you're like, what just happened? But it's crazy. But again, that is life also. Some people worry about those who retire. And I remember when my husband was about to retire, I had so many people asking me, is he going to be okay? And I'm like, okay, why? Because he's retiring. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be okay. Well, of course, for those of you who do not know, he had been working for the Dallas Police Department for over 30 years. And I just said, yeah, he'll be fine. Well, I guess I never really thought about those who retired, because I didn't retire with him. I retired a year later. I'm not, or ever have been an officer. But I didn't think about it. But I guess you start thinking, or I did, when you've been doing a job for 20, 30 years, longer, 40, 50 years, it becomes your way of living. And that is all you know. So I had people that I knew had retired, and then they told me they had suffered from depression. Didn't even think about it. You don't process it that way. I didn't. So luckily, my husband was fine. But I was the one, when I did retire, school started back and I was back at home, and I knew my friends were working, but I have close connections with my friends still. So that's a great thing. We all just went to the beach and we had a great time, but I had, again, people that had told me they had suffered from depression from this, but they started getting involved and volunteering. And trust me, there are so many different places where you can volunteer. Well, fortunately, we now know when you retire, you have to plan to do something, because I didn't think about it. Many might say, oh, well, you're going to travel the world, and then you get in a rut and you won't leave the house. And then some people become hoarders. But I swear I still clean. I'm cleaning my house out soon. I always like to say for those new listeners that my house is like a museum. Although we have a lot of stuff, it is organized. But there's a story in each room. There's a story about something in each room. So I like to tell people about certain things when they do come and I see them staring at some weird thing and go, oh, there's a story behind that. So now, of course, there are some people who are jealous, literally jealous for those who retire. They're not happy for them. They're literally jealous, or have something. They feel like they have something. The retiree has something that they really want. So again, it's have a plan. But for those people who are jealous, it's not a good thing. Um, so always have something you want. And so this does lead into our podcast about jealousy. Have you ever been jealous of someone or something that someone had or has? Of course you have. It's only human nature. It's just, a lot of people say, I never am jealous. But yes, at one point in your life, you were jealous. It could have even been when you were in elementary school. But there's a difference between envy and jealousy. Envy is wanting that someone else that has something or someone. And yes, it can be having a lover that you wish you had, but that there are other things that you could want someone's house, their job, their car, their friends. Well, you get it, right? But jealousy is feeling fearful of losing someone's position or situation in someone's life. Like rivalry. That's what I read. So when I read this, when I hear rival, I don't think of department stores. I think of gangs. And so I guess that's why they shoot and do bad things, because they are jealous. I don't know any gang people, members, whatever. I don't mean to offend anyone. I just don't know anyone, and I don't care to know anyone, because all I've ever heard are bad things and horrible things. But if you're a gang member, thank you for listening. I just figured that they just want to fit in. These people that belong to certain gangs just want to fit in, just like everyone else in the world. And so they want to belong. So that's why people join a gang. I know. I don't know. I think that I will take the risk and just find friends that are like me. Not too much like me, because that would be crazy. And not go commit any crimes. Either way, gang members are human too. And well, I am pretty sure that I don't want to join a gang. This is only my opinion. Anyway, how many of you have ever been envious or jealous of someone? Raise your hand. I'm raising my hand again as I speak. I know that I have been jealous or envious of something, of someone, but it was more because I was young and dumb. And I am much wiser now, especially within the past year. Have you ever wanted or wished that you had someone else's life and you tried your damnedest to try to live like someone else, and then later found out it just wasn't all that it seemed to be? And honestly, not the worry and the headache to keep up with someone. That is insane to me. I've never understood that. Someone gets a Gucci bag, man or woman, in your group of friends, and then realizes they can't afford it, but they get it anyway. And all those people dressing with name brands and trying to be the same as everyone else, just to find out they're in debt up to their eyeballs, just trying to keep up with the Joneses. Kids trying to dress as though their parents have money trees in the backyard, and we all know we don't have money trees. But parents want them to fit in. Parents want kids to fit in. I want my grandkids to fit in. I always wanted my kids to fit in. But if we couldn't afford something, we just didn't get it. We may have saved up for it later, or they had to work for it. Do something around the house, because that's what you're supposed to do, I think, is teach them certain values. If this is what you want, then you're going to have to work for it. But we can all be jealous and envious of one another, but yet we are still who we are, right? There's a saying, you can't put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig, and I'm pretty sure the pig will jump into a mud puddle the first chance he or she gets. In other words, you can dress like someone else. You can talk like someone else. You can have your hair like someone else. You can get contacts to have blue eyes when you have brown eyes, to look like someone else, but you're still you. No matter what. I don't understand that. I guess I've always been, you have to learn to be happy with who you are before you can go on in life. You just need to accept who you are. No, you might not be, the most beautiful, most handsome, but you are special. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, there are some people out there that think that they are so above and beyond any of us. but they're just the same as we are. And I don't know. I can say this on the podcast. So I'm pretty sure I can say it on the radio. They wipe their ass the same way we wipe ours, unless they have a bidet. Now, if someone is jealous or envious of you, someone might think, oh, well, I just can't help that people want to be like me. Hold the phone, sister, brother, anyone. Someone may be stalking you. I think I would rather just be me than think someone's worshiping me as an idol. You see these young girls and these young men, and they always have someone they're walking behind, a little entourage. No. No thanks. There are stories about brutal deaths because of jealousy. You've seen them. You've seen Dateline 2020. I know it sounds crazy, but many could have just a screw loose to be so jealous. Jealous because they were obsessed with their roommate and only wanted to have their one friend and kill the roommate's girlfriend. And that was really some case that happened in Texas. But they weren't a couple. They were just friends. So one thing is to be admired. Another is people like to take on a life of someone else, but you can't. Now, of course, there's always the delusional jealousy. That is when someone is a little psychotic disorder. That's what that is. Involves believing that their partner is being unfaithful without any evidence. Have you ever known anyone like that? Yes, I have, and I am raising my hand again. I may need to get some new friends. No, our minds can convince us that with just about anything, we can believe it. I mean, our minds are amazing. Now, we can convince ourselves of certain things that just aren't there. No, I'm not a doctor, therapist, life coach, whatever. These are just my opinions. I'm Henrie, and just you need to think things through, because I've had people that probably, well, I can tell you they're no longer in my life, but really believed that their significant other was cheating on them, and they weren't. And they ruined their whole relationship because they really, okay, the person was late from work a few times, but the whole thing about tracking your phone now and stuff, you can do that if you're feeling that insecure in your relationship. And I think that's sad, because if you don't have a good relationship of talking and stuff, then yeah, it can really definitely be delusional. And that's kind of hard, and that's sad. But again, I'm not a therapist, but if you take a look around at your life and you analyze it, you might be surprised how wonderful your life is, and that it isn't so bad. I just got back, like I said, from a beach trip with friends, and man, we had the best time. It was great. We laughed, we ate, some of us cried, we ate, we stayed up late. Well, I didn't stay up that late. We ate, we drank, we ate. I got my walk on the beach by myself, and it's amazing how much you learn to appreciate your friends, and more than anything, your life, when you take a walk on the beach. For me, it's just one of the most beautiful things. I love it. And it makes you thankful for your family. We celebrated our friend Dee Dee, who passed away not too long ago. But I enjoyed my time with my friends, and I was glad to be home at the same time. When I got home, we were only there 3 days, but you have a house of 11 women. That's a lot of women. 3 days, 3 nights, that's a lot of, how women are. But luckily, we love each other, and I'm sure everyone had something to say about everybody else at one point. But I don't envy anyone. I didn't envy, oh, their life is great. Oh, they drive a better car. Oh, they have a bigger home. They're just friends, and I'm so happy for them, and that's it. We've got to learn to be happy for people and be happy for their accomplishments. I mean, I think it's great. So if you are feeling jealous or a little envious of someone or something they have, look around. Literally, look around. Unless you're driving and you're listening to this on the radio, don't look around. Just keep your eyes on the road. Look around, and if you are healthy and have a family and friends, a job, roof over your head, clothes on your back, and even if they aren't Gucci or some major brand, just be thankful that you have something. You have clothes and who you have in your life. Life is so short. If you would have told me my friend Dee Dee wasn't going to be around, I would have thought, "No, I'm pretty sure she's going to be here." Again, life is short. So let's find all the good in our life and not someone else's. And let's be happy for people. Again, like I said, a lot of people are in debt just to keep up. There's only one you, and you are awesome, sensational, extraordinary. And why? Because you are you, and there is only one of you. Just believe in yourself and those around you, and it will help you realize how fantastic your life is. Some of us may need to tweak a little here and there, and it may be better, it may not. Sometimes when we tweak something in our life, it's not what we were expecting. I myself still need tweaking, and I can actually I'm being honest. I can help myself in so many different ways. And I may have shared this with you, but I'll share it again for the new listeners. I have a tendency of speaking before thinking, and a lot of things spew out of my mouth. They're honest things. They're not made up things. They're not angry things. I just talk about, if something's bugging me, I just come out and say it. I just like, if something's bothering me about a person, and I know that's a good trait for some people to think that. Some people, I've had a few people say, when I grow up, and they're younger than I am, when I grow up, I want to be like you. I mean, when I say younger, they're not 5, they're in their 40s. And I actually even had my older sister say, when I grow up, I want to be like you. And I'm like, you really need to rethink that because we are all special. And I mean, it's just, I am who I am. You either like me or you don't. May bug me if you don't like me but you know what? It's fine. The world's going to keep spinning. I'm going to be on it. You're going to be on it. We may never even cross paths again. So there. But anyway, just be happy with what you have in life. Look around. And just know that you are special. I'm wanting to do a podcast and believing in yourself, and hopefully I'll get to that, if not next week, in a couple of weeks, because I want people to learn to really believe in themselves and believe in how important you are. Each person. I'm important. You're important. You may not feel important, but you are important. And I want to come in near the end of this, but a very special thanks again for listening to everyone. And in Georgia, those listening on the radio, thank you. Thank you. And to those listening around the world, thank you. You make me feel blessed that you are part of my life. I may not know you by name or by sight, but know that I care and I will pray for you. I pray for my listeners because we all need prayer. Some of you don't believe in God, and that's your choice, and that's fine. But I'm going to pray for you anyway. I will pray for all those who are lonely, those are sad, those are depressed, those are who are struggling with jealousy or envy of someone, especially family or friends, because that's a hard thing that we just need to really work on. It's not a good thing. It's not healthy. But I just want to let you all know how much I appreciate you very much for listening, and can't wait to see you next week. Oh, and let me clarify that, because sometimes I'm thinking, wait, I don't see this lady. So when I say can't wait to see you next week, I'm sure many of you have wondered again. She is a psycho. No, and I can't wait to see you next week. And I will see, and the reason I say that is because I can see, not into your households. Don't panic. Don't think I'm going to start stalking anyone. Oh, look, Julie in Montana is listening to me. No. What I mean is I can see the cities or the countries that may be listening. I don't know your direct where you're listening from. I mean, where, your home, your car, whatever. But I can see if you're listening from a certain city or a certain town. It could be the smallest town. I've got some little towns I've never even heard of. And I've got listeners there. And I want to thank you because for me, I do see you. So that's how I see you. I see that these people in these little towns and different countries are listening. So you are why I keep going. Apparently, I hopefully have helped someone in some way with a phone number, with a story, or made you chuckle. I don't know, but something. And I can't say again how much I am so grateful for you to have you in my life. And now I'm saying this, now this is important to me, but do you know how important it is for you to tell someone how important they are in your life? You really should think about doing that. It's so important to let people know how important they are. Even if you're jealous of them. But don't ever tell people you're jealous of them either. I'm so jealous that you are dating him or her. I'm so jealous that you have this. Because it's not a good thing. It really, really is not health-wise. I cannot believe that's even good. Again, we all need to look around and see what we have in our lives going. There are some kids out there that just want to be, no, seriously, I'm getting off a topic here again, but there are kids out there in their teens wanting to be grown up. Can't wait to grow up. Now, as parents, we need to let them know it's not all it seems to be. It's not all that it's cracked up to be because, again, growing up is hard. You've got to make life decisions. Like, what are you going to do with yourself? Now, I myself I even have a pillow on my bed and it says never grow up. I really believe that we all still have a kid in us. I believe, for myself, I feel like I was in my 20s. I used to say in my teens, but I can't say that. Maybe my 20s. Now, physically, my body is not there, but my mind is. And if we can have that young mentality and make decisions, good decisions, I know, make good choices, it can really change your life. And again, if you are envious of someone, you really should pray that it goes away because it's not a good thing. So anyway, I want to say one more thing. I know I just keep saying one more thing. If you have never, ever, ever felt that someone admired you or someone was envious of you or someone wanted to be like you, you're more than likely wrong because somewhere, sometime in your life, you probably have said or done something that has really changed someone's life. But people don't tell each other how grateful they are for when someone does that. There are people who are more likely to tell you about what you didn't do when that made them unhappy opposed to what you did do. So I just want to say, if you have the time, write a note, send an email, send a text, and tell someone how grateful you are for them, even if you're jealous of them. And I hope you're not. But jealousy has been around since Cain and Abel. And for you non-Bible readers, that is Adam and Eve, the first humans made by the power of God. Those are their sons. So Cain kills his younger brother, Abel, out of envy because God favors Abel's sacrifice over Cain's. Now, this is, again, killed his brother. Then there was Joseph and his brothers, who his dad made him a coat. It was a special coat, honoring him above the others. And their jealousy eventually leads them to selling Joseph to slavery. This is how insane jealousy is. It's been going on for years, people. How many of you it doesn't make sense. It's been around people like, oh, I've never been jealous. Oh, Jesus would no, I don't think Jesus was jealous. I doubt that very much. But, this has been going on for thousands of years. Jealousy. And like I said, people become jealous and they don't think. How many people have been killed over a fling? Of course, I don't think that's a good idea, but someone who has had a fling, and then they wind up killing the other person, and the person who, and they're dead, and that ruins your life. So jealousy is a bad thing. Bad thing, bad thing. It's like telling your puppy dog, bad dog. Even though I was taught not to say that people were bad, because that was only for bad people that were put in jail. So my kids were never told that they were bad children. I know you must probably think, oh, wow, she is wacko, but it's not a good word. I think bad is a bad thing bad is a bad thing to say. Anyway, I'm going to cut this short. I'm just rambling at this point, but anyway, do your best not to be jealous. Do your best not to be envious. And I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you what to try not to do, because it's not good. It's not good for your health. It's not good for you, and it's not good for people around you. And we can all, if you want something someone else has, work for it. Don't kill for it. Don't hurt someone for it. You know what's right and wrong. Again, I hope this helps someone. Some people are like, what is she talking about? Seriously, there are so many people that are jealous of other people, and I just still think it's so sad. And again, it's been going on forever. It's in the Bible, because I don't think people would relate that, because God favored one of the brothers. That's what it is. Yeah, but anyway, so this is Henrie, and until next week, I hope you have a wonderful week. Go find your blessings. Most importantly, tell someone that you love, someone that you care for, how grateful you are for them. It could even be someone down the street, it could be anyone. So, someone don't just go up to some strange person and tell them you're grateful. But anyway, until next week, I cannot wait to see you next week. I cannot wait for someone to share their story. And I promise to change your name, change your country, your city. And if you don't want to share, guess what? You're not obligated. So this is Henrie. Until next week, have a wonderful, wonderful week. And seriously, look around. You're going to find your blessings. They are right there in front of you. Thank you for listening.